Good morning, everyone. I'm Ryan Hayes with Engage121 for this week's Engage121 product update webinar. We're going to go ahead and get started. We've got a couple of quick little things to run through this week, starting with a new fanlet page object, some changes to the way that we do save searches in Explorer, a tweak to the fans and followers chart for pages that have less than 30 likes, a change to Twitter reposting, and a recap of how Twitter conversations work. As you know, Twitter is constantly changing things these days, so I just wanted to get a little bit of a review of what we can and cannot do with Twitter. So we're going to go ahead and start with the new email collector page object. Now, this is not in the application just yet. I'm demoing it off of our testing server here. We'll be pushing this into production either later today or first thing Monday. Actually, Tuesday. Apologize because of the holiday. So either today or Tuesday, that will be going into production. So we're going to start in Speak by clicking on Fanlets 2.0. We'll select a page to install the app on. If I pick the right page, then we'll be able to move forward. Choose the tab, and we'll click Next. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and I'll do a 3-panel layout. So we did this as a page object instead of a custom layout or something along those lines, so that everyone will be able to make use of it. So I'm going to start by putting an image at the top of my page. So I've got one loaded up in my library here. That's 810 pixels wide, so it fits well in this frame. I'm going to add another page object, and I will pick the flexible email collector. So this will be showing up in your accounts either today or Tuesday and available for everyone to use. So I've selected that page object. I'm going to edit the page object now. Now I can pick from an existing email collector if I've made one, or I can create a new one from scratch. So I'm going to pick one that I've already made because I have the fields filled out here. And you'll see that I can pick and choose whether or not a field is required. I also have up to 10 standard text entry fields. So you can see field 1 through 10. You can do things like first name, last name, email address, phone number, etc. Choose which fields are required or not. And then when we get down towards the bottom here, after field 10, I also have the option to put in a custom date picker field, or a special date picker field. So if I have something that requires a date entry, this field will also support a pop-up for a date picker. The text can be edited, the date can be input with a keyboard as well, but we do put that calendar in there as well as an option. Then there is a special field that is a short answer field that will allow text entry of about 500 characters. So if you want to allow a short answer, for example, tell us why you should win, that sort of thing, we can add that in. Then there's a special field for an opt-in checkbox. Again, make it required or not, change the name of it, say it's opt-in to receive more information from us, to sign up to our mailing list, whatever that opt-in is for, accept terms and conditions, anything along those lines. And then we have a special terms and conditions link that you can rename what it's actually linking to, name it whatever you want, and then put a URL in for that to link to. So you can link to a different tab on your page, for example, if you have your terms and conditions posted there, or if you have them on your website, you can put in whatever sort of URL you'd like to here, and link your new email collector to that. So whichever fields you fill in a field name for, we'll use. So you don't have to use all these fields. You could use only one field if you wanted to. But by selecting those fields, we're going to put that together and use just the ones that you opted to use. Now I'm going to throw another image down at the bottom here. You know, obviously, if I was a designer, I might have some better looking stuff here. But I'm just a guy putting this together very quickly. So we'll select all that, and then I'm going to submit that off to my page on Facebook. We'll go ahead and take a look at how that actually gets reflected here on Facebook. So I'm going to pick the same tab, and you'll see my image at the top. You'll see my the whole form here completed, and my additional image at the bottom. And the terms and conditions, again, that links off to another page, whatever I've linked it to, and then I can put in my my information here. And fill out that form however I'd like. And then whichever fields are required will have to be filled in before you can submit the form. This was built on a variety of client feedback and requests for more customization options in that email collector. So we've tried to accommodate all of those that we can. And we hope that that this will be very useful for all of you. We do want to hear back, obviously, from you on how it does work out for you, and if there are certain things that that we can do to make it even better for you. But that will be available either today or Tuesday, most likely today, for all of your accounts to begin using. Next thing I'd like to take a look at is actually in production, and that is a Save Searches backfill. Now, last week I talked about a full Twitter fire hose backfill that we can do as a custom project. Now, those are our actual projects that have to be spec'd out and ordered. There are additional costs for those, depending upon the scope of the project. But we are able to backfill as much as 3 years of data for you from the Twitter Firehose. So that's something that is an option and available for a fee determined by the extent of the project. Now, what we do have available in the application that does not carry a fee is the ability to set up an Explorer search, and when you save it, have it fill in the most amount of data that we're able to retrieve from the particular search APIs that you're searching. So I'm going to go ahead and put a quick search together for our fictitious coffee company, Engage121, for mentions of our Twitter handle. So I'm going to run that search right now. Because we're using the different search APIs, these are limited to the number of results that can be returned in one call. And because of that, we're able to show you exactly what's returned in that first call, but making additional calls may allow us to go back further. Now, previously, when you would save a search, we were saving what was immediately available in the particular call that you had made. Now that means that there is additional data that's out there, and we can make repeated calls and fill all of that in. And so what we've done is when you now save a search, obviously when you run the ad hoc search, you're able to page through and click for older and older results and make all of those calls to the full extent that API makes available. Now when you save the search, what we do is we put that search into a queue to backfill everything that API has available. So when I first save a search now, if I click on it, I'm going to see a message that says it's populating my search results and to check back soon. So what we're doing is we're running through those APIs depending upon which platforms you selected to save as part of your search, and we're hitting next page, next page, next page essentially to receive all of those results and put them all into the saved search for you, going back as far as we can with regard to what's available. Now, once we've finished that process of going back as far as that API will allow, you'll see your search will change. And so I set this one up about an hour ago now, and if I run that, you'll see that it's populated in the additional all of those posts that are available through that API. So right now I'm looking at 1 day, 2 days, and continues to go back 3, 4, 5, 6 days, 1 week ago. With Twitter, that kind of varies based on the given search. Sometimes they have things indexed to run back a further time period. Sometimes it's less, but roughly around the a 1 week period is what they actually have indexed in that search API. But so when you do set up when you do set up a new search, you are going to see that message now alerting you that we are backfilling that data, pulling in everything that is available from the selected platforms, and we will fill that in over the course of a couple minutes or so, depending upon the extent of your search, and make that available for you. So the next thing I'd like to take a look at is a change to our fans and followers chart for pages that have less than 30 likes. Now, I know I've mentioned this one before, but if I look at a page that has less than 30 likes, like my Rick Scrolls test page, demo page here, you'll see that where it says Insights, it alerts me that I don't have Insights because I don't have 30 people liking my page. That's how Facebook has decided to manage Insights. They don't turn it on, they don't enable it until you have reached 30 fans. Now, for most of our corporate clients, that's not an issue. You all have 30 fans or more. But for a lot of our enterprise accounts that have a variety of outlets, hundreds or thousands of outlets connected to the system, they may not have 30 fans. It may be a brand new page. It may be the first time that particular location has gotten involved in social media, and they haven't reached that point yet. So when we run our Facebook, our fans and followers chart, we're preferring to use the Facebook Insights data. We believe it to be the most accurate data that's available, and even more than that, we want to make sure that what you're seeing in Engage is matching what you're seeing in Facebook, so there aren't any discrepancies with the counts, the tallies that you're seeing. So we prefer to use the Facebook Insights data whenever possible. But just because a page doesn't have Facebook Insights data available yet doesn't mean that we want to leave it out of the counting entirely. So what we've done is made a change for Facebook likes for the fans and followers chart. So you can see, I'll look at the how this is set up. This is a fans and followers chart looking for displaying all of my Facebook counts, my Facebook fan counts, and the coverage is set to the 5 outlets I have connected to my test account here. Now, you'll see that prior to this, all of my fake outlets do not have 30 fans. They're all below that threshold for Facebook Insights. So over the past couple weeks, we've started filling that data in by making additional queries to Facebook outside of the Facebook Insights system. So if in the event that a page does not have 30 fans or 30 likes, we'll make an additional call to Facebook to retrieve the actual fan count for that page. So if I go ahead and actually export the raw data of this, the Excel file that I'm going to get will have a line for each one of those pages. So as I download that and get it loaded up, we'll see in the export that that for each one of those pages, even though they only have a couple dozen fans, you'll see that now I have 3 fans and 9 fans and 4 fans, and this one has 19. You'll see that we're populating all of that in. So you're still able to, if you've got 100 some odd outlet pages that have less than 30 fans, that's obviously adding a large chunk to your actual reach as an organization. So this gives you a more thorough way to measure the reach that your organization has through some of those smaller pages. And obviously, once the page does hit 30 fans, we'll begin using the Facebook Insights data for that page to fill all of that in, and you'll be able to build Facebook Insights charts for those particular pages. But this is again specific to our enterprise accounts where there are some particular needs to get data that's not part of Facebook Insights. So we've added that for everyone. Anyone who does have less than 30 likes will see that. Now, the last 2 things I have to recap this week are related to Twitter functionality that has changed a little bit due to changes in Twitter's API. So there are one thing that Twitter puts in place for applications posting through their API is a check for duplicate posts. Part of that is to help control spam on the platform. Part of it is to help limit errors in posting the same thing twice if the API doesn't respond for the first post, doesn't return the correct response back to that third-party application. And so they have that in place. Oops, apologize, switched the wrong screen there. They have that in place to help control those issues. However, they don't have a hard and fast rule about how frequently you can post the same thing. They don't have it's not every 24 hours. It's not every 6 hours. It's more of a sliding algorithm that adjusts based on how often you're posting other things, how much content you're posting as a whole. So if I'm only posting the same thing and I'm posting it every 6 hours, then they're going to identify it as a duplicate. If I'm posting post A and then I'm posting post B, C, D, E, F, and G before I post A again, then it's going to be less likely to be flagged as a duplicate. That's how Twitter manages that algorithm. So what we do for clients who are posting through Twitter, we do give you the option to repost your tweet. So whenever you've selected Twitter in the Connections platform here, you'll also see the option to repost your tweet. Now, as personally, we feel that that social flow is a better way to go in terms of improving the reach of your tweets. In the sample that we did with the sample testing that we did with all of our clients over 3 months, we saw tremendous success. And obviously we've talked about that before, and you can learn much more about it on our YouTube channel if you have questions about that. But we did see tremendous success with the growth of retweets and reach of posts that did go through social flow versus going directly to Twitter. So we do promote that. We do think that that using social flow is the better way to go. But we know that clients do have needs to repost the same content to Twitter at different days and times. So due to some changes in Twitter's API, we've had to to make some changes to how we actually do those reposts. And in order to do a repost now to Twitter, we actually have to limit that post to 125 characters. So in the case that I've created a post here that's longer than 125 characters, 137 is certainly low enough to get under the 140 character limit. But if I try to set this up to repost, the application is going to give me an error message letting me know that I have to limit that to 125 characters or less in order to use the reposting option. Unfortunately, it's beyond our control. It's part of the changes that that Twitter is making in that API, becoming a little stricter on what qualifies as a duplicate. But by limiting that character count, we are able to modify the tweets in a way that's not visible, but enough to eliminate them from being identified as a duplicate. So that change has been made in the application, and you'll see that now as you go into Engage and start using it. Now, the last thing that I want to recap is Twitter Conversations and likewise Twitter Replies, which is all part of the same thing. I'm going to go over to my listen feed and I'll pull up mentions here because I know I have some conversations just from some of our folks testing here. So you'll see that in the event that a post that comes in the listen is a reply to another post on Twitter, what actually happens is when we get that post, that tweet from Twitter, it will include a piece of information that says "in reply to." So it tells us that that post is in reply to something else. If that field is populated, which may not be the case depending upon how that reply was made, which third-party application was used, things along those lines, it's possible that you can get a mention that really is part of a conversation but doesn't have that data filled in. But if that data is filled in the tweet that we receive from Twitter, we'll display a link for conversation. Now, if I click on conversation, what we'll do is go to Twitter and retrieve that post that this post is in response to. So really, we're going back in time. So this post was made a day ago, and you can see that this post was made 2 weeks ago. So we retrieve the previous post so I can see what it was in response to. And that's what happens with conversation. Now, replies is going the other way in time. So saying that this post was sent to or sent from Rice Up Your Life mentioning Java 121. And if I click on replies, I'll then see a response back to at Rice Up Your Life. So this is then responding to the tweet that we see here. Now, there is not, unlike how Facebook manages comments and keeps them closely tied to the post that you're looking at, Twitter doesn't do the same thing. And you'll notice even when you're looking at the details of a post, a tweet in Twitter natively, that you may not see all the replies that post received. At the most, you're probably looking at about 5 to 6 replies that you might see natively in Twitter. Unfortunately, there's just not a straight connection between those different posts in their system, in their API. So you may see different replies in the morning than you will see in the evening. Some of our, many of our competitors don't make any attempt to offer this, but we think that there's a lot of value in being able to look at things that are replies that are being made to posts in your feed, and we make that call to Twitter to look for them at the time that you click on the replies link there. So there's nothing that's happening in the background until you click on it, but if you see something in your feed that looks important, you want to see more information about it, you want to see if someone's responded to it, you can click on replies, and that will search Twitter for replies to that post. But it is not a hard and fast link. Unfortunately, they just don't have their data set up in that manner, unlike platforms like Facebook. So it's a best effort. We think that there's a lot of value to have it there, but want to be clear that it is not a comprehensive list of all replies. Unfortunately, there's just no way to get that, whether on Twitter natively or through third-party applications right now. When Twitter does expand on that API, and we hope that that will come soon in the near future, we'll obviously be integrating those features as quickly as possible. But for the time being, that's what we have available. We still think there's a lot of value in it, so we do have it in the application, but want to make sure that everyone understands that Twitter just does not have things linked in the same way, and it is not a 100% every single reply that a post received. So that's what I've got for today. As usual, I want to thank you all for joining us. If you do have questions or feedback about the webinar, please do reach out to us. Tweet us at Engage121. You can email Jenny, my colleague who sits and answers your questions as we go through these webinars. You can obviously reach out to our client services team if you have questions about how to implement any of the things you've seen here. And we do record and post these webinars to our YouTube channel. So I do recommend going to YouTube, looking for the Engage121 channel, and clicking subscribe so that you do get those new videos in your YouTube feed, and checking back often for new videos, not just our weekly product update webinars, but new videos that Jenny and the rest of our team put together to recap what's going on in social media as well as what's going on here at Engage121. I will be out next week, but Jenny and the rest of our team will have another great webinar for you then, and I'll see you all the following week. Have a great weekend, everyone. For those of you with a long weekend, enjoy it, be safe, and we'll see you back here next week.